Known as the movie capital of the world, bringing films to audiences that provide entertainment and at times thought-provoking drama, Hollywood recently hosted a different kind of media through a unique forum broadcast live worldwide on Supreme Master Television on Saturday, July 26, 2008. The Climate Change International Conference was held at the Pacific Design Center in West Hollywood, California, USA. Organized by the Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association, it was a conference that brought together green Hollywood celebrities and notable speakers. Co-hosted by Emmy Award-winning television journalist and vegan Jane Velez Mitchell, the event was informative and the subject matter highly relevant. 3 panels were conducted, each with a different theme: the urgent scientific facts of the climate crisis, its spiritual perspectives, and the transformational role of the media. Invited as a special guest speaker, Supreme Master Ching Hai graciously attended via live video conference to answer questions from the panelists as well as the audience. We now invite you to join us for the rebroadcast of the Climate Change International Conference.
We are so excited today to have with us one of the leaders in this movement. He is the author of the best-selling book, The World Peace Diet, Eating for Spiritual Health and Social Harmony. What a great title. What a great book. And let me introduce now Dr. Will Tuttle.
It's great to be here. As we just heard, I'm Dr. Will Tuttle, and I'm the author of The World Peace Diet, and I've been a vegan for about 28 years, and thank you. About maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I started thinking that someone should write a book that gives not just the environmental implications and the health implications and the implications for animal cruelty to our meals, but actually the bigger picture of what it does to us spiritually and psychologically, the history and anthropology of this whole culture, and the main role that seeing animals merely as commodities plays in our own difficulty in solving our problems. So I was thinking that someone would write a book that would give this big picture, and I was waiting for it to be written, and Madeline, my spouse, said, "If you want to read that book, I think you would better write it." So I spent 5 years and wrote the book, and I'm really honored to be here today and be part of this movement, which I believe in my heart is the most powerful movement on this planet for a positive evolution for peace and harmony. And I'd like to take some time now to introduce Supreme Master Ching Hai. When I first saw the videos of Supreme Master Ching Hai back in the 1980s, I was immediately struck by her benevolent presence and her relaxed and profound wisdom. As the years have gone by, my respect for her as a spiritual teacher has grown so much that I see her as one of the most brilliant and inspiring lights shining on this earth today. Whenever I become despairing of humanity's blindness and cruelty, I need only think of Supreme Master Ching Hai and her loving and enthusiastic students and all the work they are selflessly doing to promote compassion and peace. And I know she is inspiring a great movement to raise consciousness here on this planet. When people ask me whose spiritual teachings and example I recommend most highly, it is Supreme Master Ching Hai. To me, she is a living miracle. On the outer physical side, she is a petite Asian woman from an ordinary village. Growing up in Vietnam, she partook of both the Christian and Buddhist traditions and also knew firsthand of the horrors of war. I think that from her childhood, there was a love for all life shining in her like a bright star, always leading her, and she eventually moved to Germany and married a German doctor and worked in social programs there. Her spiritual calling beckoned so strongly, though, that she felt she had to travel to India, and with her husband's loving blessing, she went to the Himalayas seeking an authentic spiritual teacher. She entered many hardships there, but eventually found a great teacher in the remote mountains, and through her intense meditation practice, she attained deep insight into the nature of reality. She returned to Eastern Asia with no thought of teaching, but the light of her love and wisdom was irresistible, and she quickly became a magnet for students seeking spiritual inspiration and guidance. As awareness of her teaching and healing presence spread, Thousands of people were inspired by her example, and spontaneously meditation centers were formed all over the world with both regular meditation sessions as well as community outreach projects to help those in need. As I mentioned in my book, The World Peace Diet, the worldwide followers of Supreme Master Ching Hai have set up vegan restaurants in many cities and contribute vegan clothing, food, shelter, and aid to disaster victims, prisoners, children, and the elderly in countries around the world. Though she requires students to meditate 2.5 hours per day, vow to eat no flesh or egg products, refrain from alcohol and non-prescription drugs, and not work in jobs that promote the exploitation of animals or people, her movement continues to spread. Rather than impede her movement, her insistence that her students reduce the cruelty in their meals may paradoxically promote it. People who are serious about spiritual growth are apparently capable of embracing fundamental change in their lives and may even welcome the opportunity. I feel everyone on earth owes a debt of gratitude towards Supreme Master Ching Hai and to her students as well. Kindness anywhere blesses everyone everywhere. We are all interconnected. Her efforts to bless the world are magnified by the purity of her intentions, making the efforts of this petite woman absolutely enormous in their impact. People often ask me what the best strategies and methods are to help us be more effective in our advocacy for animals and the earth. Besides educating ourselves about the issues, the most important contribution we can make to the animal liberation movement is to seek authentic spiritual liberation for ourselves, and the best way we can help bring peace is to cultivate inner peace. I believe Supreme Master Ching Hai lives to give, to love, to bless others constantly. She never asks people for contributions, and in fact, she refuses them. Through her amazing creativity, she is able to found countless effective relief campaigns to disaster victims all over the globe and provide helpful gifts to children, prisoners, the elderly, and the infirm. She is love in action. Personally, I am often astonished by the sheer creative genius of her jewelry and clothing designs, of her lectures, stories, and jokes, of her paintings, music, and other creations.